data. So for the clients that came in for transaction, or the clients that came in for transaction. So we have that most of the clients were from southwest, and some were from southeast, and some were from northwest and then northeast. There was no client from south, no client from south. They were, okay, you can have southeast, you have north, we have southwest. Yeah, so now mix of clients. So now the managers or the company may ask you, okay, in this, how many customers came from southwest, how many customers came from southeast, how many customers came from northwest, how many came from northeast. So you can check for um you customers, total customers, total customers, that's for in each region. So let's go insurance. Insurance data is a data. You go into the same region, and then we check for unique. You go into the value counts. Let's check for these regions and see what happens. So we see that the total number of 364 people came, customers. Now they are from southeast. Total of 325 customers were from southwest. 325 were from northwest. So the total number of those that came from northwest was the same with those that came from southwest. Now, for those that came from northeast, they were 324. So that is how you can check, play around some stuff in your data. I don't know. Are you following me at all?
Yes.
You're following me, right? All right. So that's beautiful. That's just a rundown of it. Now, you can perform as many analysis as you can. There are a lot of things you can do, a lot of analysis, a lot of things you can do with it. So I am so impressed that you are part of this class. Now we're going to be going far and far. I don't want to take you from scratch. Now I've shown you how you can explore your data, small, check some things in your data. But let's go into the main analysis. Let's go into the core thing that we have to do in this project, this class. You have to go into the main core thing. So before then, let me hear from us. Now, now about our assignments on the Python class. Python class, don't forget that it was an assignment I gave to us. I was about to give you a huge project for presentation. So for now, the assignment I gave to you. So one person should speak about the assignment. One person speak about the assignment.
Are you talking about the project?
Yes, project one, a small mini assignment on Python.
Okay, my group I think that's project 2. We're done. I don't know. We should submit today, anyways. We're
Okay,
almost done. We're
so
just trying to put the finishing touches to it.
can you run me through the all the things you do?
Mm, our project was about what was it again? A calculator matter, a
Okay.
simple calculator that can perform arithmetic functions.
Okay.
So we're 3 in our group, and then the 3 of us had to first of all work individually, and then were to bring ideas together. So the only thing we were able to do is to submit like our individual works, and then so we're meant to use today to compare and then just bring everything together and submit.
Okay. So you people are doing well, right?
Yes. It's going fine.
Oh, what challenge did you face?
Um Try and for me personally it was try and accept error handling, and that was because I had little idea about it before, so I was stuck there for a while. But then I was able to move past it. So that was just the challenge I had.
Okay, that's fine. That's beautiful. Okay, so why I gave that thing is for us to, push ourselves to some level. That's good. Now we're gonna be doing something now. Before we start, walking and then exploring a lot of things, let's go into something. I want to us to analyze that data very well. But let me push us into exploratory data analysis, how we can use some visuals to analyze data. But I will show us how to create visual now using Matplotlib and Seaborn. Let's try to see how we can explore Matplotlib and Seaborn to explore this data. Now we want to check the distribution of the H column. Let's check distribution of H column. Now, the first thing is have H column. Now, what do we understand by BMI? You have to understand the data. So, what do we understand by the word BMI? Now, let me explain what BMI is, so that we will not waste time on the explanations of things. Now, we have BMI. It's about body mass index. Yeah, body mass index. Now, and normally body mass index is calculated by finding the width and the height. Finding the width and the height. So the width is measured in kg, while the height is measured in meter square. So now we have that. So what is body mass index? Now, is a numerical value derived from an individual's weight and height. So it's commonly used as a screening tool to categorize individuals into different weight categories. Number one, we have underweight, we have normal weight, and we have overweight and obesity. So now this normally is used in the hospital. Now, so we have weight. When we come to weight now, is an individual with weight in kilograms and the rest. So height is individuals with height in meters. Okay, so now when we come to the resulting BMI value, now it can be used whether and to check or to assess whether a person's weight is in a healthy range. So the BMI categories, they are typically defined as now let me give example. We have underweight for BMI that is less than what 18.5. Now, why I'm doing this is for those, if you're working with data, you need to understand the data you're working with. If you are in healthcare, understand the business problem in health. So that when you see normal BMI that is between 18.5 to 24.9, you understand that that's a normal weight. If we have BMI that is 25 to 29.9, it's overweight. So if you have BMI that is greater than or equals to 30, it's obesity. So when you know this one now, when you're doing your analysis, you get to know how to interpret it very well because you understand the business problem. Just follow me up. Are we there, everybody? Are we there?
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay. So people are, I don't talk to children, people that are here. Okay, so that's fine. So it is very important you understand the business problem very well before you go into anything you want to do. All right. So now at this point, let's start. Let's look into some visual to see how to explore visual, so that when we come back, everybody will come into normal analysis, mix them up, combine everything, and then proceed to how we can explore very well. Now give us data to work on, and all of us will start working on this data massively, and let's see how we can do. Before you enter machine learning, we need to explore it very well, and I will give us a large project to do. Now let's go into exploratory data analysis before we come back to analyzing that data very well. Now we come into exploratory data analysis. Please follow me now. Now we have important dependencies. So now the first is import pandas as PD. Import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt plot. You know that this plot now, the word plot is now carrying all the frameworks that is in matplotlib. We have import Seaborn as SNS. So you need to know all this. You need to understand, know now the function of it. Now, what's the function of matplotlib? Matplotlib is used for data visualization. Now, Seaborn is also used for data visualization, and this is used by data scientists. Data analysts they don't use others. Yeah. So as a data analyst, what you need is Power BI, SQL, Excel, and you're done. So you can combine Python if you want to. But now for data scientists, it's a must that you use this tool. Combine this with SQL, you are cool. So now this is very important. Import pandas as PD, import matplotlib as PLT, import Seaborn as SNS. So wherever you see SNS, you know that's Seaborn. Wherever you see PLT, you know that's matplotlib. Are you following me, everybody? Just follow me step by step. Are you there?
Yes.
Are you the only one here?
Sorry, I'm following.
Okay. Please, I want everybody to follow so that when we move, we will just move. All right, that's beautiful. I like it when everybody they're all following in. Right. So now let's start with matplotlib so that everybody will understand how to use matplotlib. I want to push on this and then come back to the other one so we can analyze it and then visualize everything and move on. So let's go to matplotlib. Matplotlib is the powerful Python library now for creating static, interactive, and animated visualization. Let me use that word. Introduction to matplotlib. Let's come to that. You can follow me. Whatever I'm doing here, you do it elsewhere, wherever you are. Do the same thing. Introduction to matplotlib. So let's move there. All right. So now, before I proceed, let me define a little. Let me speak a little about matplotlib. And as I said earlier, what is matplotlib? I said that matplotlib is a powerful Python library for creating static, interactive, and animated visualization. Let me write it here. Matplotlib is a very powerful Python library that is used now. Important Python library that is used that's used for creating static now, not just static, interactive and not just interactive, animated visualization. Animated visualization. So that's what matplotlib is about. So let's explore matplotlib first. Now, that's what you need to know. So now you need to understand that it's highly customizable. Now, and it is used by data scientists. Now, it's a combination of NumPy and pandas. Now, let's start with if you are using a notebook, if you are using a notebook that does not have it on it, how do you have to install it? So how to install? Okay, let me just make it normal code. We have how to install matplotlib. How do you install it? You say this pip install matplotlib Matplotlib. So if you run that, it's going to install Matplotlib, but already we have Matplotlib installed in our system here. So you see already a required requirement already satisfied. So if you are using Jupyter notebook, you can install it because notebook sometimes might not have it. So you install it first before you use it. Sometimes if you don't install it, you might throw an error that is not seen, so it's not known, or something like that. So you need to first of all install it because it's a package. Now, that's why I said that Google Colab, you don't have to install these things because already that is there in Google Colab. You don't install them. In Colab doesn't need installations of these things sometimes, but there are times that you install things, but not always. All right. So when you're done with that, you've installed it already. When you're done with that, let's go into basic plottings. Let's see basic plotting. Part 3. Basic plotting. Now, the first plot we are going to be looking at, we start with line plot. Let's start with line plot and see how to use line plot. We start with what? Line plot. Now let's have a plot. Why? Okay, let's make a very simple plot that makes a lot of sense. Now let's have our data. Before that, we're going to import it. Before you start, you import your library. Say import matplotlib dot py plot as plt. Now import that, you run the code. Now you bring it down. Let's continue our scene. So first of all, the first thing is our data. Let's create our data. We say data. The first thing you have to create your data first. Data. Now we say x equals to, we have a list of numbers. Y equals to, we have list of numbers as well. Now we're going to be having list of numbers. We can have, yeah. So let's have a number from 1 to 5 for x. For x, let's have numbers from x. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's have that number. That's for x. And then for y, let's have something like 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. For example, we have 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Let's have that. That's our data. Now that's for, yeah, we're trying to look into basic plotting. Now let's define the plot. Please see how I'm doing comments. Please, anything you do for me, comment it, or for anybody. You say plot. Now the first thing is to define the shape of your figure. Define the shape of your figure. Let the shape of your figure be what? Predefined. That's the first thing. You say PLT, meaning plot dot figure. That's the first thing you do. Now you have to define your figure size. Fig size equals to. Now what? Now let's use size between 10 to 6. So the question here is, what is 10 and what is 6? What's 10 and what is 6? Waiting for response. What's 10 and what's 6?
10 is x and 6 is y.
X and y. Okay, so 10 is x and this y. Okay. Okay, so that's why I asked. I wanted to know very well. So now, thank you so much for replying. That's beautiful. But now, in this context, in the line of the code that we have been done now, we say plot.figure. We say fixed size equals to 10, 6. 10 of this 10 represent the weight of the figure. That now it's measures. It is measured in inches. Now 10 there is what represents the width of the figure. Now let me just comment here. Say 10 represents the width of the figure. Now let's come to 6. Now if 10 represents the width of the figure, now then 6 represents the height of the figure. So you are controlling the width and the height. So 6 represents the height of the figure. So now while 10 represents the width, 6 represents the height. Width is defined, now it's measured in what? Which is measured in what? Inches. So even though the height there is measured in inches. So now that's the first thing you define. You have to define that very well, very important. Define that. Now follow me up. That is very important to do. That's for line plot. Now when you're done with that, the next thing you're going to be doing is to define your label, define your color, and define your marker. Let's define it. We say plot dot. Now what are the things you have to define? You say plots, which is a special function now, x and y. X, comma, y. So we're going to be defining things so that our visual will be defined. We say let our label, let it be equals to, now we're going to be choosing line plot. Line plot as our label. Now when we're done with that, we say let the color be blue. Let the color be blue. Defining, very important. And then we say let the marker is how it is drawn. So we can, it's not compulsory, you must have a marker that way. Let marker equals to, so we can have different marker. We can have it to be, let's use 0 as a marker. You see how it's going to look like. Now when we're done with the plot, now you have to define the labels and title. Labels and title. Let's go into how you can define labels and title. How do you do that? The first you have to do is to check. Let's title it. Let's have the x-axis title. Say plot dot x label. We call it like this is x axis. As for x axis label, plot dot y axis label. Y label. You can say this is y axis. So you do that. Now when you're done with that, you've now defined your x-axis and your y-axis in your plot. Now you need to give the title of your graph. Title of your graph. So what's the title of the graph you're going to be giving now? We say plot dot title. So we want to decide to give the title to be what? Basic line plot created in class. Just try to make it something that is different. Now when you have that, you can have legend. We'll explain more. Plot dot legend, call the legend. Now when you're done with that, if you want your plot to, come up, if you want to make grid, you can make grid as well. If you don't want, you just forget about the grid. Now, if you want to allow your graph to come up live, let's define that as another one. Say show plot dot what show. Now, if I say plot dot show, what will happen? I'm calling my this thing, my graphs to show now. So let's run this code and see what will happen. Now you see how the graph is now. I think I need to reduce. Let's reduce the height and all those things. It's too big. Or let me reduce the size of the reset. Okay, so I reset my stuff now. So you see how the graph is, right? Now let's reduce it. Let's make it 6 by 4. Now you see how you can resize your graph, right? Are you following me, everybody?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now, if you have any question, you can ask me now. If I proceed to the next stage of adding more things. All right. So there's no question. Let me proceed. Right. That's beautiful. Now this is just a basic how to create a basic line plot using what matplotlib or line graph. So now let's see how we can add bar plot. That's for line. Now let's see how we can create bar plot. Now look at that. Now we have that for line. Now let's create for bar. Now we're going to be having data. The first thing is to have your data first to find. Let's say this is line. Let's go for bar plot. Bar plot. Okay, so now we say data definition first. Let's pick data of students in this class, and then look into their when we pick the data, we look into their age. Yeah, age, name, and age. So one person is going to do that for us. We say now the first you're going to be defining is the categories. Let's go into categories, and then we're done with categories. You come down into age. Categories and age. So we're going to be doing that age. So now the first is, let's go into categories. The names, let's go. One person should do that for us. First, we're going to be looking at 10 names. 10, okay, is it 10? Okay, let's go for 10 names. Or yeah, 10 names. Yeah, okay, now let's go. 1, 2, go. Number 1.
Isaac.
Isaac, okay.
Joshua. Peter. Rachel. Mary. John.
Jen, okay.
Paul.
Yeah.
Abraham.
Abraham.
How many is that? Okay, that's
1,
8.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay.
Yeah. Adam and Eve.
Adam. And then we have
Eve.
Eve. Right. So now let's go into their age. Okay. Let's go. First person. Isaac, how old is he? Okay, so take up Isaac.
Okay. Isaac 20.
20. Okay.
25.
25.
32.
32.
19.
19.
26.
26.
29.
29.
50.
50.
20.
20.
55.
55.
60.
60. I think that's
And
10, right?
yeah, sorry.
That's 10.
Yes, I think so.
Thank you. Now
Yeah.
we have that. That's data definition. The next is going to be plot, the same way we did before. Well, I want to show you the step that will be so simple for you. We say the next in that plot will be what? Plot dot figure. Plot dot figure. So what do you do? Define the width and the height. The width and the height should be defined. So we say figure size. Fig size. That's where you define your what? Your width, your height. So we say 10, comma, we go into 4. Let's do that. I think that's beautiful enough. Now, when we have that, what is the next step that you take? Is to create, if it's a bar or a line. So we say plot dot bar. That shows that's the bar you want to come into. So now you define your data, which is what? Categories. Categories. That's the data, comma, age. You need to follow that very well. So now you have to, create the color. If you want to make the color to be the same, remember you can make mixed colors. But in this case, you want to make color the same. Say color equals to, say, green. Let's pick green as our color. Now, when you're done with that, the next thing you're going to be doing is to define your labels. Define your labels and the title. Your labels and the title. And let's go into labels and title. Now you bring up here, define labels and title. Say plot dot x label should be called student names. As x label should be called student names. Plot dot y label should be what? Students age. Student's name. Student names, student age, and then we say plot dot title should be distribution of new students data. Okay, so now you've done that. That's that. So the next thing you have to do is show my graph. You say plt dot what dot show on the code. So you see how you can do a simple bar graph that looks beautiful. Now, remember these things you're going to be doing now, and we're going to be doing in a large data. So we're going to be doing data extraction. That's why I don't want to go into data cleaning, all the data cleaning first. Let me keep it. Let me show you how to visualize. So when we clean, we visualize, clean, visualize, clean. So it will make more sense. Now, look at this. You see distributions of new student data. Isaac, it shows 20. Joshua, it shows 30. All those, now everything shows very well. Remember, you can make this to show in percentage basis. Percentage on top of each bar. Percentage on top of each bar. You can do that very well. But let's finish how we can, plot basic stuff before you go into designs. All right, so that's beautiful. Now we are coming up. I think we are following me, everybody. Following me?
Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you. Now, any question?
No.
All right. I like this class. There are always no questions. They're like, come on, everybody understands everything. All right, that's beautiful. Now we move into histogram. You can do the same thing in histogram. Now, histogram. Before everything finishes, I will show you the difference between bar chart, histogram, line graph, and all this. And then I will tell you when to use and when not to use them in your data analysis or any project you are running. No, it's not just to know that we have histogram, bar chart, line graph, and all those graphs. Now, having it or knowing how to plot them is not just the main thing. The main thing is, when am I to use line graph? When am I to use histogram? And when am I to use bar chart? That is one of the crises that we have in data. People doing data science, they just carry graph and plot anyhow. You don't just plot graph in graph. When should I use pie chart? When should I use bar graphs? When should I use line? When should I use histogram? When do I need heat map? When do I need a competition matrix? You need to know when to use them. If not so, you're running on crisis. I don't know if you're following me, everybody. Now, first of all, let me show us how we can plot them all before we know how and when to use them. Okay, so now let's do histogram. We have for histogram, let's do the same thing. Histogram. Histogram. Okay, so for histogram, the first thing we do is just let's define data definition. We have data to be range of people age 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. That's for data definition. So we define the data we want to use or want to work on. Well, that's beautiful. Then the next thing is the same thing. We have to define the plots. Now, doing this thing consistently, now you should know how to do it now without even looking at your book. We say now after that we say plot dot figure, and so we define the fixed size to be equals to, we have 10, 5 at this point. Let me put that straight. We say plot dot. Now, when we have that already down, we need to say we need to define that this is an histogram. East. Now for bar we use bar. For that one we say plot. Now for histogram we say east, and then we call the data, which is what our data. All right. So when we call our data, the next is to define the bins. The bins equals to 5. Okay. So let me define bins to be 5. I'm going to explain what bins are and why we define it and how to define it. We say let the color be purple. Should be okay for me. Purple. You can use any color for your graph, but you should know the colors to use. Now, purple. Then we use the H. I can tell you, say, let the H color, then my H color, but combine purple with black can make more sense. So my H color should be what? Black. Black. So we bring it down. What else do we have to do? Let's define the labels and titles. Labels and title definition. Now, how do we do that? The X plot.x label should be these are the values. Plot.y label. We say frequencies. Plot dot title. I created my histogram in the class. Let me use that as title. All right, so now when you do that, and the next thing you're going to be doing is normally show the plot. If you follow these steps, you do not have issues in how to create your plots. Show my plot. You say plt dot show. Your code. Now you see how this code is going to be. And let's reduce the figure size. I'll show you how to create these things and how to save them to your local PC. And you can save them as images. Run it, save as images. You say, let's make it 4x2. It's small. So it will not be making huge large stuff. Now you see how the graph is. I created my histogram in the class. So now this is how you can create histogram of any kind. Remember, all these things, I'm doing this normally so that we can be using in that data you want to use. You don't want to finish analysis and then come back again to do it for data cleaning. I want to run it with cleaning of data, with visualization, everything at once. Now, look at this. We see how you can run your basic, your basic histogram. Now, the question is, do you have any question? Any question?
No question.
Are you serious? You are very intelligent. Okay, that's beautiful. I really appreciate the fact that we don't have questions. Does it mean that we understand too much or what? Oh, it's something so simple that would have gone to something that makes us crack our brain a little, but it's fine. It's beautiful. I love this. I love this. So before we stop, let's stop with some. Okay, let's do pie chart. Let's do pie chart and then we'll do scatter plots. That's all. Let's do pie chart. Now, for example, then I will explain how to use them. Explain how to use them. Now let's go into pie chart. Pie chart we're going to be using now. It's going to be students. You'll be having 5 students. Okay, no, 5. People with 5 professions, or like data scientists, machine learning engineers, web developers, and data analysts with their salary structures. And then we use it to create a pie chart. I think we can do that. Let's do that so that we see how pie chart works. pie chart. Okay, so now we have, first of all, we start with data definition or collection. That collection or data collection. Let me do that. Now we come into data. We say salary. Salary equals. First of all, before we say salary, let's first of all start with job roles, job title. Sorry, equals to. Now please mention the job titles we have. So it's about data analyst, right? So mention another one for me. Mention another one for me. Mention another one for me. I decrease Adam. Mention them for me. I decrease. Are you here?
So should I
I
mention the job titles?
Mention.
Okay. Data manager.
Data manager. Who is the data manager?
Who is the data manager?
Yes. Okay, I keep mentioning, but tell me, who is the data manager?
Okay. A data manager is a information technologist that collects, stores, and documents data in an organized manner.
Who is the data engineer?
So I'm not sure about that one.
Continue. Don't mind me. Let's continue. But you can still research about it.
Okay, sir. Web developer.
Web developer. Okay.
Network analyst.
Network analyst.
Hardware engineer.
I think we should stop at 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, hardware engineer. That should be the end. No, you mentioned data scientist. So scientist, you can't leave that one.
Okay, sir.
Let's call ourselves. Okay. So the salary structure, let's try to look into salary structure. For data analyst salary structure, and let's use which standard, Nigeria or UK or American standard. Let's use Nigeria. So for data analyst, how much do they take minimum? Is off.
Okay.
We have
should I?
Okay.
Okay. Data analyst 180K.
180K.
Yeah. Data manager 200K.
Well.
Data web developer, let's say 150.
Wow. Okay.
Network analyst 250.
Okay.
Then data science is 300 since it's us.
700,000.
As I writing 700.
Yes, that's 700,000.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, they do. They take more than even that. Depends on the condition you work. They take up to 1 million.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's beautiful. That's cool. So what else do you have to do in that? I think most of us have been seeing pie charts, and then when you have that, the next thing is we can assign different colors to this row, titles or job roles or something, jobs. So we say colors equals to. Now for Data scientists, as for data analysts, we can use red. Maybe use these people's color. For analysts, you can use blue. Let me use the color. Now for manager, we can use green. Okay. Okay. So for web developer, we can use yellow. It will be beautiful. Okay. For network analyst, we can use orange. For data scientists, we can use purple. Purple, yeah. Purple. Let's just use them for that. I think that's fine.
So I think you put 6 colors when there are only 5 job titles.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, thank you so much. Let me pull out which one should I pull out? Yellow. Pull out yellow. Let me pull out yellow. Thank you. Now we have that. What else do we need to do? If you have that already left, now the next thing you're going to be doing is to, define your plot. Define your plot. So that's plot definition. Plot definition. Now, for the plot definition, how do you define your plots? The first thing you do there is the size of your plot, which we've done that already. So plot dot figure, and then we have fig size, which is equals to the figure size you're going to be looking at is let's take that 10 by 5. I think it's more big. Now, when you have that already, the next thing you do is to define the type of plot that we're looking for. We say plot dot pie chart. In pie chart is what is used conventionally. Yeah, so we say pie chart, but if I use pie chart in this version, it will not go. We use pie chart. Doesn't go for this version. Okay, now we go for pie, and then we use sizes. Let's use salary. So when you use salary, the next thing you're going to be using is the labels. What should the label be? What should the label be? You say labels equals to
in terms
job
of
title.
for people who don't know, it's not only a arbitral award. If you have a judgment against them.
I thought this here. So we have job title. Okay, that's the label. Now when we have that label, now what's the next thing we are into? The colors. The colors. You say colors equals to colors. Now when you have that colors, the next thing is if I want to do it, I can still do it. But let me just do auto pick the PCT. And then that is going to be we have, how do I choose that? Do I choose that? We have presentation 1 point. Let me do this. Presentation 1 point, and then for one decimal place is 1F. Decimal place should be okay. So let me bring up by saying this presentation. Okay, so for you should make it 140 degrees for start angle. Start angle should be 104. Okay, start angle should be 140. All right, so if I have start angle to be 140, then the title definition should title definition should be plot dot title. Salary distribution in Nigeria. All right, so salary distribution in Nigeria. So we have that done. Now, the next thing you have to do is to show your plot. Plot dot show. Okay, let me define that so that I need step by step. Show plot. All right, so let's run that and see what happens. Now you see how it is. See how beautiful it is, right? Now we have salary distribution in Nigeria. We have data science, data analysts. Oh, we have 47.3%. We have 16.9%. We have 10.1% and all other. Now, this is year. Do we have questions? Let's go back to the code. Is there anything you don't understand in this code?
No, sir.
That's beautiful.
Oh, wait, the auto PCT.
Okay.
The auto PCT that is in plt.spy under plot definition.
Okay.
The auto PCT.
So what should you want me to explain?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, is there any other person that has any other question too? Well, let me come to auto PCT so that you understand what it means. Now, the auto PCT now is a parameter in matplotlib. Now, it's saved in Py, or I would say is a parameter in matplotlib Py function. So it is used to display the percentage value of each slice of the pie chart. Now, what does it do? So it allows you to format and show these percentages directly on the pie chart. Now, this will help you to understand the proportion of each category. Now, why do you need auto PCT? You need to show the percentage values of the pie slices. Now, when we come to format, it helps you to specify the format of the percentage label. That's a function of what auto PCT. Now let's come into, you see how I did 1.1f this and that. So now this is the format. Now is a string. Now that means that now each percentage will be displayed with one decimal place followed by a percent sign. What I did there is, I said present 1.1 figure, like let's say one figure first. Then I said present. Now look at this. The first percent is a percentage symbol. As you see, percentage, that's percentage symbol. Now let me explain one after the other. Now after that, now we have 1.1f. Now that's a format specifier where 1 represents the minimum number of characters. That's minimum number of characters to display, including what? Decimal places. And 1f means 1 decimal place. 1 decimal place. So we have 1.1f, and I said display it in percentage. So the second percentage is the one that is in the chart. So the 1.1f is a format specifier where 1 is what? where 1 represents what? The minimum number of characters to display, while 1F means 1 decimal place. So if I say 1.2F, now it's going to display in 2 decimal places. Now let's do something. Let's do something. Let's come here and say 2. So you see now it's displaying in 2 decimal places. And let's come and say if you put 3 and increase it, you keep seeing that its decimal places keeps increasing. So that's the function of autopacity. Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now you can try as many graphs as you want. So this time I'm going to pick another graph. Let me stop with scatterplot, because as the data scientist, you need scatterplots to see relationship of 2 variables or data. Yeah. So now let's go to using scatterplot as the last. But for
Sorry, I have a question.
okay.
That autopacity, is it only on pie charts that we can use it?
They are mostly on pie chart. It was on pie chart function.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay, so now please, everything I'm teaching you here in class, I expect you to go explore as many as you can. Explore as many as you can. So I'm going to be giving you assignment. I don't want to bore you with assignments. I'm going to give you assignment by the end of this week. I'll give you assignment that covers everything. So I think we still have next week. So I will give you assignment. We'll be exploring for next week. That's time will be a project, a concise, comprehensive project that you're going to be doing. I will send the data. That data is going to be it's going to be a data that is that has all the terrorism issue in the whole world. All the terrorism issue in the whole world. All the terrorism issue in the whole world. So now I will give you questions you're going to be answering in those, terrorism data. There's going to be 2 projects, TED talks and terrorism data. Those 2 data I'm going to give to you. Now you explore it. I will give you questions like 50 questions to answer with visuals. You will explore and answer those questions for me. And then for that, don't worry, I will before you cross into machine learning. Okay, but we're going to be dwelling on this visual because what you need is data cleaning and visualization matters. And then data now, machine learning, we enter or start doing amazing things, you'll be happy. All right, so please follow step by step, know how to use these plots. This is, I'm just explaining, I'm using Matplotlib. I've not entered Seaborn to see how you could be using more advanced visuals. Now let's touch line plot. Let's touch line plot. And then I wanted to see how we can use automations, how we can customize our plots and make sense of our plot. But before then, let's see line plot, and then I explain when to use each of this plot, and that's all for today. Okay, so we have, let's go into scatter plot. Scatter plot. Okay, so now we are going to be using the same approach that we used before. Use all the same approach that we used before here. Now the first is data definition, and know that this is what we are doing. We are now on Matplotlib. Matplotlib, I will touch Seaborn by next class. Finish it, combine, touch data cleaning. How you can check for duplicates. You handle duplicates. How to check for outliers, handle outliers, and then how to check for missing values, how to handle missing values, and the rest. So when you finish missing all those things, how to handle them, and we come back, we do what we know as thorough data visualization, data cleaning, data analysis. So you are now a data analyst with Python. You can use Python for any analysis, and then I will teach you how to report, and then I will give you projects to do and report. That's going to be the project we're going to be doing, massive project Yeah. Now, when we're done with that, then the next class we move into next dimension is machine learning. Okay, so please follow up this class and then follow me the way I'm going. Follow me the way I'm going. You will be shocked that the next few days, you'll be shocked where you're gonna be. Yeah. We've gone far. So we say data definition. Okay, so let's just try to make something sort of sharp, nothing much here, because we just want to. This is, for example, just as an example to show you how to use scatter plot. Nothing much, right? So at this point, you're gonna be running normal data like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's good. That's okay. It's only for those things. I say, come back here, use 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. So this is cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's cool for that data definition. So now the next thing I am going to do here is the plot. We're going to be defining the plot figure size and then the kind of plot we're looking at. So we say plot. We say plot the figure. So now it's a plot the figure. Next you'll be doing is to define the fig size. Fig size equals to my god. So we say let's pick a size of 8 by 4. 8 by 4 is a nice size. And so we come back and we'll say plot dot. So what kind of plot are we going to use? Now we're going to be using scatter plot. So what do? You say scatter. So scatter it, and then the scatter plot should be x, y axis. And so for x, y axis. And when you have that, what else do? You come in here, you have to define the color. So let's try to see how we can use red as a color. There's going to be so kashi. But let's just do that for example's sake. Now the marker, I showed us how to use different marker, but this time we're going to be doing marker as x. Marker should be x. Marker as x is going to make sense. We come down here. So we're done with that. Let's see into how we can define the labels. And title. Defining the labels and titles. Plots. Oh my god. I didn't charge my system. Sorry, just blocking my stuff. Didn't check my system. Okay, so now let's go into that. Oh yes, where was I? Defining the labels and the titles. Now let's see what to do. We have for the labels and titles, let's first of all define the x-axis dot x label. For x-axis, we say this. Let's just say x-axis, sorry. X. Let's leave much grammar alone. Say x-axis. For the y, is a plot dot y label. In that case, we say y axis, and we come in here to look into title. But the title, we say scatter plot. Now we do that. Now we can just going to show my plots. You say plt dot show. Very simple. Very, very, very simple. Now you see, we don't just waste time. That's simple to do. Now what you do is to run the code. Now you see how the plots are. Okay, so now I'm showing you this because we're using it in a large quantity. Now you can't do as a data scientist without scatter plot. Can't do that because we're checking relationship on your data. So it is very important you know how to use scatter plot. I'm just giving you this so you can know how to use it. But meanwhile, I will teach you how to do it more better with Seaborn. Seaborn is going to come in a large list. So we now know how to apply it. I'm doing this first so we can be applying it in our data. As we clean our data, we apply it. We clean our data, we apply it. It's going to be more amazing than for me to just be doing data cleaning without applying visuals. So that's why I said, okay, let's just leave it for now and clean it later. Now, for that plot, we can customize them so well. We can do a whole lot of large jobs, can do a whole lot of jobs, and we can have subplots in plots. We can have annotations, we can have advanced customizations like ticks and many things. So for now, let's just stop there and let me explain something for us. Let me explain something for us so that we understand this. Do you have a question for that before I use these 5 minutes to explain something? Are you there? Are we there? We there? We there? We there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any question? I want to get it. Any question?
No question, sir.
Okay, please. Okay, that's fine. Now let me tell you now when to use each plot. Please take note of this. If you miss this, you miss everything. But this is what will make you. Sometimes you can ask yourself question. When am I to use bar chart? I think sometimes people have that issue here. When am I to use bar charts? When should I use it? When do I even use this line graph? Because you don't use it every time. Not every data you use this graph. Not every data you use pie chart. You don't just wake up and start using pie charts, or you don't just wake up and use line graphs. There are some specific data for specific purposes. Get to know this. Let's start with line plot. When are you to use line plot? Number one thing is when you're working with time series data. And what do we know? What is time series data? That is data that is collected at different time plots. Now, let me give an example. Now, you have trend analysis. Now, anytime you want to do something of this nature, you want to observe changes over time. Listen, changes over time. Let's say we have example, sales trend, stock prices. You want to check changes over time. That's when you consider what? Line plot. Types of data: stock prices over time, monthly sales revenue, temperature changes over days, something like that. That's with what over time trends. Example, let's say, okay, let's have an example in a business problem. Now, let's say you're asked to track monthly sales to identify seasonal trends and forecast future sales. That's for I'm doing this because you're a data scientist. This is what you're going to be doing in real life. You are tracking monthly sales to identify seasonal trends and forecast future sales. What do? That's when you consider line graphs. Consider line plots. If not so, leave line plots alone. Let's go to bar plots. When are you to use bar plots? When do you need to use it? When you work with categorical comparisons. You want to compare different categories or groups. You want to compare whether the salary of this person is higher than the salary of this person. You want to compare if the male and the female who among these clients buy your product most. Now, this is for discrete data. What is discrete data? Data that is divided into distinct categories. What are the types of this data? Number one, sales by product category. Number two, revenue by department category. Number three, number of customers complaints by type. Now let's come to business problem. You want to compare revenue generated by different product lines to determine which products are the most profitable. You want to check in your company who among the two categories buy your product most, female or male. You want to check. So you can say, oh, wow, for the male, we have 90%. From the female, we have 10%. That means males appreciate this product more than female. So what do we do? So let's see how to go into this female and know what products would they like. That means this product is strictly for male. So let's advertise this for male and let's do this for female. Let's find a new product that female will find more interesting. So that's when you bring in bar plots. If not so, leave bar plots alone. When do you need histogram? Histogram is used to understand the distribution of a continuous variable. What are continuous variables? These are frequency distribution. And then to see how data is distributed across different ranges or bins. Now, what are the types of data? We have customer age distribution, we have distribution of purchase amounts, we have employee salaries. Now, let's come into business problem. You want to analyze the distribution of customers' ages to tailor marketing categories for different age groups. That's when you consider histograms. If not so, leave histogram alone. The last one, because of time, is scatter plot. Scatter plot. When do you need scatter plot? When do you have to use it? Now, when we are talking about correlation analysis, you will use scatter plot to identify the relationship or correlations between two continuous variables. Now, you can also use scatter plot to identify or to check for outliers or for outliers detection, to spot outliers or unusual observation. I will explain in detail what outliers are, and then when we explain in detail, we are going to be going into data. We check if they are outliers. If we have outliers, we see how to remove outliers. So you can use scatter plot to detect outliers. Types of data you use. We have relationship between advertising and okay, so now let me use it here. Now, relationship between advertising spend and sales, or correlation between employee experience and job performance, or correlation between customer satisfaction versus purchase frequency. Now, that's if you want to check or investigate the correlation between advertising expenditure and sales to optimize marketing budget. That's when you bring in what? Scatter plot. The last one is pie chart. Don't use pie chart if you don't want to check for proportion analysis. If you want to, now that will show you the relative proportion of parts to a whole number or a whole. Now, for categorical data, when you need to visualize the percentage share of what? Of each category and what types of data. Number one, market shares of different companies. Number two, budget allocation across departments. Number three, distribution of what? Products category in total sales. So you visualize the market shares of different competitors in a specific industries. Why do you do that? To identify dominant players. Let's stop there. Thank you so much. I will make it as a note, add it to you on your notebook, and then upload in your classroom, download it, and you work on it. I think that's all. Thank you so much. Now, any question? Thank you, thank you. I'm seeing the yeah. Thank you, Morirat Abu. I don't know your name pronunciation, but I think I will know better. Yeah, thank you so much. Mori, what? Can you explain your name for us? Just your name.
Munirat.
Monirat. I'm correct. Monirat. All right, that's fine then.
Yeah, can you please explain the scatter plots again?
The scatter plot, like according to my definition of scatter plot, right? Let me explain. Okay, when to use scatter plot, right? Is it when to use scatter plot?
Yes.
All right. So if you are referring to when to use scatter plot, now don't worry, I will explain more in details when we start our main business. But for now, when to use scatter plot is when you're talking about correlation analysis. What is correlation? Relationship. You want to check the relationship between you and your husband, for example. You use scatter plot. I want to check how related am I to my children, or how related am I to my colleague, how related am I to my business, for example now, or how related my manager is to my HR. You can use what scatter plot to check the relationship of two people. Forget about all this English, which is variable and this and that. Leave this English, you got variables. Variable and this. Let's say you want to check for relationship between two people, and these people are what we know what variable. We want to check how related is HR to my manager. That's when you talk about scatter plot. Don't know if you understand what I mean.
Yes, I understand.
So I'm going to give you as a practical when we start doing machine learning.
Okay.
Yeah, you check the relationship between two people, but before then, we are going to be doing some project. You're going to be doing scatter plot. Don't worry, when we start doing Seaborn and we start doing this analysis very well, which we're doing it this week. Now I will give you different scatter plots, and then we speak analysis very well. We will do reporting. I will show you how to use English that has to with data English. And when you come back and speak reports, people will look at you and say, "Wow, you went to school." Right, that's fine. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for your time.
I don't know if you enjoyed today's class.
Yes, thank you so.
That's beautiful. We are now moving into more practical sessions. Very soon, you will see what we are going to be exploring. Most of you, Lamidi, most of you are going to be speaking English, and people will be like, "Wow, this is amazing." So please, now you understand what correlation means. It's just about relationship. Scatter plot, you use it to check relationship. That's all. How related am I to my child? Finish. That's it. So you're going to be saying how related one product is to another product. Thank you so much for your time. Do have a nice time. Enjoy yourself. I will drop the notes in the classroom. Download it, use it, and enjoy. Please start submitting your Python assignment. I will not give another work until I see that assignment submitted, so that I will know that you are good in Python. At least you try your best. Now, so that we enter this, you are entering the main thing that we came in for. So please follow me small. Go in, try all your best, download the material and code along it. If you have questions, come ask in the class. Ask any question you want. If you like, go look for question in anywhere, bring it for me. I will deal with that question very well. This is my work. For many years I've been working as data scientist, so it's not new. So bring any other questions for us. Thank you so much. You have a nice time. Have a nice day.
Excuse me, sir.
All right.
Sir, please, this platform you're using to code this scatter plot, the pie chart, and the rest. Sir, please, what is the name and how can I install it?
This is Google Colab. Were you know in our class before?
Sir, this is actually my first time joining.
Yeah, sorry, but that's not too late. Okay, so go into your Chrome, type in there Google Colab. Google Collaboratory. Google Collaboratory.
Okay, sir.
So when you type in Google Collaborate, it will come out. Click on it. You will see this interface coming out. Or you go in
Okay, sir.
and watch, or you go in and watch our first video.
Okay, sir. Thanks, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. Do have a nice time.